All right. Great shot by the camera. You're on, sir.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning in for tonight's PIAA District 3 4A first-round playoff game. It is the Kennard Rams and the East Pennsboro Panthers. Good evening, fans. I am Mike Garland. This is Bruce Badgley. And Bruce, tonight you have 2 4-6 teams coming together, with the winner advancing to face the number 1 seed Bishop McDevitt Crusaders next week. But tonight, in speaking with both coaches pregame, they're only focused on tonight's game. They're not worried about next week.
As they should. I mean, that's kind of the mantra of football coaches. We're going 1-0. It doesn't matter who you talk to, from James Franklin down to a middle school coach. It's 1-0. And, that's what they're focusing on. They're looking to go through the same routine. In fact, it's John Denniston with East Pennsboro there. He's chomping at the bit. I mean, he feels his team is healthy. His team is ready. They've battled injuries. They've battled really a tough schedule all year. And they're ready for this game. I mean, he felt like this could be the best his team has been all season.
And this is my second time seeing East Pennsboro in action this season. The Panthers, though, they have not won a game since Week 5. East Pennsboro in the midst of a 6-game, check that, 5-game losing streak. But when we talked with Coach Denniston, the one thing he said is, tonight we are healthy. We are the most healthy we have been all season long. His starting quarterback is going to play both ways tonight, and they are playing to go 1-0 this week.
Yeah, and on the flip side there, Kennard, Function, they're happy to be here. They believe in the power ranking because they played a very tough schedule. They talked about played Wyomissing, Lampeter Strasburg out of, the Lancaster Lebanon League, even though they're in the York Adams. And, for them, they're the poster child for, the power ranking and why District 3 has it to get teams in the tournament, right?
You play those tough opponents, you get those power ranking points, and while there are some teams with 500 or better records on the outside looking in, tonight you have 2 teams at 4-6. And we look at Kennardale. We spoke with head coach Christopher Grube earlier, and this is a team that last year went 10-2. They went to the playoffs last year, and a bit of a rebuilding year, if you will, but back in the playoffs for the second year in a row for the 7th-year head coach.
Yeah, and, that means everything, okay? A playoff game is kind of the present to the fans, each and every year for a lot of these teams, and clearly that's the case here for Kennardale. Chris was chomping a bit as well. I mean, he was ready to go. I mean, he's a big guy, and I can understand, why maybe some of these kids really listen to him at heart.
He's definitely a larger-than-life character, a tall fellow, big presence on the sideline, and the captains are about to make their way towards midfield for what will be the ceremonial coin toss. The official coin toss happened just a few minutes back. I won't spoil it for you, but I know what happens. And by the way, Bruce, we are at one of the longest named and branded stadiums in Central PA football. We are at John Gross Field at George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. I wrote it down so that I didn't have to remember it, but that is where we are.
Well, it is a great place. I mean, we were on the field, and, the last time I was here with, we did a Penn Live game when East Pennsboro and Susquehanna Township played just a few weeks ago, and you just marvel at the field. I mean, it's a grass field that literally has the speed and look of a turf field.
It is a beautiful field, and the last time I was here at East Pennsboro was a torrential downpour in Week 10 last year, and the field held up. So that's a true testament to what this playing surface is all about. Kennardale won the toss, and the Rams will receive. At this time, we will pause for 60 seconds or so as we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. We'll be right back with kickoff in just a moment.
Remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. From backwards, please roll up. Let's play some football.
Following the presentation of colors and the national anthem, we are getting ready to get things underway tonight from John Gross Field and George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. Your officials for tonight, the referee is Dave Anderson, the umpire Scott Eitner, head linesman Randy Fields, line judge Brian Leathert, the back judge Jim Kemp, field judge Christopher Bigler, and the side judge Cody Deal. These are Lancaster Lebanon League officials coming in to work a game between a Mid-Penn Colonial team and a York Adams Division II team, and we are getting ready to get things underway. East Pennsboro, black pants, black tops, orange numbers, white helmets with the East Penn logo on either side. Kennard comes in tonight with a goldish yellow pant with blue stripes, white top, blue numbers, yellow helmet, and the blue hooked ram horn on either side. And Kennard will receive to start the contest David Smith and Garrett McCleary back deep to receive the kick off the foot of Dakota Campbell.
Yeah, let's see if they kick it deep. You know, one of the things, and everything old is new again, talking with you here, Mike. But one of the things that I talk about all the time is I really like to see these teams kick the ball deep rather than, squib kicking it down there and giving your team, good field position automatically. So let's see what they do here.
Campbell kicks it deep, and it's going to be fielded near the 5 by Garrett McCleary. McCleary, far side right, evades one would-be tackler, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds near the 30-yard line. First down and 10 Rams for their first postseason snap in nearly 365 days.
Yeah, boy, doesn't that sound good, and kind of the culmination of, kind of a regular year. We had a great offseason. We've had a fantastic regular season, and now we're in the postseason here in District 3.
Garrett McCleary and Gavin Sparks in the backfield. And it's a handoff to Sparks. And Sparks drags the East Penn defense forward for an 11-yard gain. First down and 10 for the Rams, coming out of the pile with the tackle, Chase Collette.
Field is a good bit away from our vantage point, and it's kind of flat. So, even though we're fairly close to the field, actually it's somewhat difficult to identify players and situations.
Two backs in the backfield one more time. It's Sparks. Sparks, the little guy, takes the handoff, gains 5. Second down and about 5. Dakota Campbell coming out of the pile.
And, look, talking with Coach Grube, before the game, he's going to be very much of a run-oriented offense. Talked about, 90-10 possibly.
Sparks and McCleary in the backfield. Jessup Sharp, the quarterback under center. The handoff this time around to Joseph Smith, and Smith is popped near the line of scrimmage. Leading the way is Paul Sanderson. Short gain, third down and 4.
Yeah, one of the things that I always like to see early on in games is what are coaching staffs going to do to kind of get the blood flowing of their team, to get them in this game, to get the emotion going.
Fifth play of a drive, which started at the 30-yard line. McCleary, Sparks, Smith, the 3 backs in the backfield. McCleary in motion. The handoff to Sparks. And Sparks is going to be stopped short of the line to gain. It's going to bring up a 4th down at about 2 for Kennard.
Well, literally there's no tomorrow, so I'd be surprised if he doesn't go for it here. What do you think, Mike?
The offense stays on the field for head coach Christopher Grube, his 7th year, 33-36 overall, 0-1 in the postseason. And the East Penn defense flinched, but not to the point of breaking the plane. And the Rams pick up the first down. The chains will move. First down and 10 for Kennard. The ball spotted in East Pennsboro territory.
Always a good sign to have, good movement up front. I mean, that offensive line really firing out, especially on that play.
3-yard gain on the previous run. Two backs in the backfield. Sharp under center. Sharp looking to pass, rolling to his right, finds McCleary coming out of the backfield, and McCleary will move the chains on the 10-yard pitch and catch. First down and 10 for the Rams.
Obviously, the run setting up the pass there because, and a very high percentage play too. Great look out into the flat, wide open, and a first down.
Lavelle Tatum with the tackle for East Pennsboro. East Pennsboro 4-6 in the midst of a 5-game losing streak.
I don't think I've ever recalled seeing a team on a 5-game losing streak actually qualify for the playoffs. So
Sparks on the carry. Goes nowhere. Stopped near the line of scrimmage. Officially given credit for about a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, Coach John Dennison, I tell you what, he was frothing at the mouth. He was really ready to play this game, and we talked to him, pregame. And, I got to know John at Mid-Penn Media Day, got to do their game with Susquehanna Township, bringing this program back, and a great football tradition here at East Pennsboro.
Kennard switches formations, two backs in the backfield. Sharp under center. There's a flag on the play. And this one will come back more than likely.
Yes, it will. Looks like in the place of holding. Obviously something you really don't want to do, especially on second down. And one of the things I focus on a lot is winning on first down, and especially for a running team. You really have to win on first down if you want to dictate tempo and dictate the situation to the defense. But now second and long, boy, that just doesn't fit the Kennard-Dale MO.
The penalty goes against starting tight end Keller Green. Second down and 20. The violation marched off 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So moving back to the 46-yard line. And there that grass comes into play as Jessup Sharp drops back, slips and falls. And what was second and 20 is going to be third and about 35.
What was the question that I asked Coach Grube out there prior to
whether they play on turf or play on grass?
And they play on turf. They said they practice on grass, but clearly I think that that's something that is a function of playing on grass and not being accustomed to playing on it. Got to keep your feet under you. Completely different.
So a loss of 10. Jessup running the screen. The pass completed to Gavin Sparks. Sparks across midfield. Doesn't go much farther. And now that punting unit that we wondered if we'd see a little bit earlier does trot onto the field.
Something we really didn't get a chance to talk to the coaches about, but special teams in every game, especially high school football. Really interested to see how Kennard-Dale here approaches the punt.
Back deep to return the punt, Trey Good. Good muffs the punt. The ball's loose, but he picks it right back up. And Good turns nothing into a little bit of something. That could have been disastrous for East Pennsboro, but Trey Good picks it up, gains about 10 on the return. First down and 10 for the Panthers from near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and good special teams play there by Kennard-Dale. I mean, the return guys were right down there. Just unfortunately weren't able to pick up the ball before Good was able to grasp it back and head upfield.
The 11-play drive that started at the 30 stalls near the 44, and it's first down and 10 for the Panthers. Otis under center, two backs in the backfield. And the handoff to Aaron Angelo, the leading rusher for East Pennsboro. And Angelo loses a couple of yards on the play.
Yeah, that was blown up right from the get-go. I mean, that defensive line at Kennard with great penetration on that play. Almost looked like they knew what was coming.
Second and 12 from the 31. Otis under center. Angelo in the backfield. Good goes in motion. Kennard showing blitz. Otis under pressure. Throws left intended for Good. The pass is incomplete in front of the East Pennsboro bench. A quick look at the East Penn starters. Across the offensive line, Colton Yo, Logan Newman, Carter Stupp, Amar Lombard, and Joshua Angelo. In the backfield, it's Aaron Angelo and Dakota Campbell. Wide receivers, Trey Good, Brecken Swope, tight end Chase Deibler, and the quarterback is Keith Otis, who's back in the lineup playing both ways after an injury in Week 6 against Mechanicsburg.
Yeah, and he just seems to be getting, better each game.
Otis in the gun, three-step drop, looking right. The pass completed in front of the Kennard sideline to Brecken Swope, now dropped. The officials say incomplete. He had it turned and lost the possession before he was able to move upfield.
And Coach Denniston said that Otis was going to play some middle linebacker tonight, or linebacker as well. So obviously getting back healthy, every time you want to put your best 11 out there every single play.
David Smith standing on his own 32. Dakota Campbell to punt it away. No pressure. Campbell has all the time in the world, and that end-over-end punt hits at the 40, takes a favorable East Pennsboro bounce, and it's going to be down inside the 20.
Wow.
And, Bruce, I think Campbell might have been thinking about it for a second, whether or not he should kick it or take off. At 4th and 12, he was at least aware of the down and distance situation and has to know that, hey, if I can't get this, I'm going to put my team in a bad spot. But he had no pressure at all.
I've seen it both ways. I've seen it where they just hold the ball and allowing them to go ahead and get players downfield.
Tonight's game presented by Wadlinger's Glass of Enola, residential windows and glass, window replacement and repairs, small commercial jobs, screen replacement and repairs. Wadlinger's does it all. Give them a call at 717-412-8764, and a run on first down and 10 from Garrett McCleary. It's going to bring up a second down and short, or is it going to be first and 10? The officials stop the clock for just a moment as the change resets, so a 10-yard gain.
That's a first and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
And that's what I call winning at first down. But especially with a running team. First down, probably the most important down.
Two backs in the backfield, Jessup under center. And the handoff to Gavin Sparks.
Wow, look at that offensive line. Just bully that defensive line of East Pennsboro back.
And the starting offense for Kennardale. Across the line, it's Aiden Cate at left tackle, Jordan Smith left guard, Carter Wolf the center, Samuel Gemmel right guard, Jacob Miller right tackle, the tight end Keller Green, fullback Gavin Sparks, running back Connor Wolf, the wing Garrett McCleary, wide receiver Dominic Smith, and Jessup Sharp under center. A gain of 8, second down and 2. Ball spotted at the 36-yard line. The ball is loose, but they're going to say he was down. That was Joseph Smith.
That was the most lackadaisical. I mean, the ball went out there. Nobody was even attempting to go for it.
Another first down run for the Rams.
Gain of 5 on the play. First and 10 from their own 41-yard line.
Well, they're having their way with the Panthers, at least between the 20s, or at least.
Jessup brings the Rams to the line of scrimmage. He's under center, barking out the signals as the Rams switch formations. Keller Green goes from the right side to the left. Now the motion man, McCleary. And the running play goes nowhere. Gavin Sparks stopped in the backfield. Tackle made by Chase Collette.
Real good discipline there by Collette. He did not go for the fake. He stood at home, as he should, and made a great tackle in the backfield there.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10 from the 41.
Thanks for joining us here on East Pennsboro Football. Bruce Badgley, Mike Garland. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
And the handoff to McClary. And again, stopped at the line of scrimmage. A loss of maybe one, 3rd down and 11.
Down to about 3 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Both teams here, I tell you what, they're in the trenches. It is really tough sledding.
Two minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the first. 0-0 the score. 15 seconds on the play clock as Kennard breaks the huddle. One wide receiver split left. That's Dominic Youngblood. 2 backs in the backfield. Jessup under center. 3-step drop under pressure, and he is sacked. Unabated Joshua Angelo, and that's his 6th sack of the season. He beat the left tackle and brought Jessup down. It's 4th and long, and Kennard will be punting one more time.
I'm surprised Angelo doesn't have more than 6 sacks. I mean, he just went right through that blocker directly to the quarterback.
3rd on the team with tackles, 56. That will add to the total.
Oh, and he fumbled a snap!
And the punt is bobbled. Dylan Logue.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. Oh, my.
Chase Collette in the area, and he slings Logue down. And it's a turnover on downs. 1st down and 10 for East Pennsboro in plus territory. 2:02 remaining first quarter. 0-0 the score.
Very important here. East Pennsboro takes advantage of this turnover. Great field position.
The Panthers break the huddle with 20 seconds on the play clock. A single receiver split left in Chase Deibler. One receiver right. Trey Good on the right side. Deibler goes in motion. A low snap. And Otis dives on it.
Guess turnabout is fair play. Bad snap on the kick. Bad snap to the quarterback. Oh, my.
1st down and 10 becomes 2nd down and about 25, maybe more. And that was the center, Carter Stupp, who shot it back just a little bit too far.
But he never got it off the ground. I mean, he basically just kind of rolled it back there like a bocce ball.
90 seconds to play in the first quarter. 0-0 the score. District 3, 4A, first-round playoff action. The Kennard Rams, the East Pennsboro Panthers. Otis under center. Otis rolling to his right, now back to the left. Finds Dakota Campbell coming out of the backfield, and there's a late flag.
Wow, on the opposite side of the field.
And
what
now
is
a second
that all
flag
about?
has been thrown.
What is that all about? And, I mean, just a great job by Otis there, trying to buy some time to get a receiver open.
Ineligible man downfield on East Pennsboro, so 2nd and 25 is now 2nd and 30.
My, oh, my.
How many times in football do you see 30-plus yards to go twice in the first quarter?
Well, I don't know. It's difficult for me to count that high, number one. So not too many times. But I tell you what, give credit to Otis. It's a shame that there was a penalty because he did an incredible job buying time and getting the pass out there. But unfortunately, his lineman. And you only have to be 5 yards downfield, you know, and most likely they're just following the guy that they're blocking. So,
well, and you know, as an offensive lineman, you count 1,001, 1,002, and release. But what happened was that play got blown up in the backfield, so the timing was off. And by the time Otis got rid of it to Campbell, you had the lineman downfield. So now it's 2nd down and 30. Otis going deep on the near right side. Trey Good, and the pass is incomplete. On the coverage for Kennard, Joseph Smith. The clock stops on the incompletion. 1 minute, 6 seconds remaining.
Well, I tell you what, and great defense there. There was no room. In fact, he was really double covered there. But Otis it just needed to unload it. Not a lot of time in there to throw the football.
Makes it 3rd down for the Panthers.
3rd and 30. 66 seconds remaining first quarter. East Pennsboro and Kennard. Thanks for tuning in and checking this one out tonight. And whether you're 10-0 or 4-6, always great to be playing high school football in Week 11.
You know what? The records don't matter. They don't matter right now. You know, now the mantra of going 1-0 is apropos. How about that?
3rd down and 30. East
going
Penn
1-0 apropos. Hey, I'm a poet and don't know it.
Kennardale 43-yard line. Collette in motion. Otis keeps. Otis in front of his own bench. Popped out of bounds, a gain of 10, maybe 15 yards.
Really good job there by Otis. There was nothing available down the field. All he could do is tuck it and run it, and he did a nice job.
Garrett McCleary in on the stop for Kennardale. David Smith also in the area. 4th down at about 20. And Dakota Campbell's going to try a long field goal because here's the thing, Bruce. If he misses, it's just as good as a touchback.
Absolutely. I mean, I saw that last night in the Berks Catholic game. That it's
about a 52-yard attempt from Dakota Campbell. The holder is Brecken Swope.
I think they blew it dead, but you're exactly right.
It was close.
I saw that same thing in the Berks Catholic versus Pine Grove last night for the Eastern Conference 3A championship, and Berks Catholic did the same thing. They attempted a 55-yard field goal, knowing that, I mean, even if it didn't make it, it was just going to the 20-yard line.
It's not a rule I agree with. I understand that this isn't the pros, so you're not going to give the team the possession where the kick was spotted. But at the same time, Kennardale's defense has forced this 4th and 21, and by benefit of East Pennsboro missing a field goal, Kennardale's going to lose upwards of 15 or 20 yards.
Well, here's the thing, too. If the ball doesn't make it to the goal line, I believe the ball is spotted where it ends up anyway, so we'll find that out. I don't quote me on that exactly, but quite honestly, he may be just pooching it down to about the 5-yard line.
Logan Newman is going to snap at the holder, Brecken Swope. Dakota Campbell, who on his practice attempt, if you will, fell just short, but this will be about a 52-yard attempt. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, high and over end. It's going to be short. And a turnover on downs. 1st down and 10 for Kennardale, but the Rams will have the ball at the 20-yard line following the miss.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't see why if you don't have an opportunity to make it, why don't you just pooch it over the line and put it down inside the 10-yard line?
Well, the Rams.
The worst that's going to have happen is it's going to be a touchback.
7.7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Kennardale with its 3rd possession of the first quarter. 0-0 still the score. Jessup breaks the huddle with the Rams. Jessup Sharp, a junior, 5'11", 148. 2 backs in the backfield. The motion man, Garrett McCleary, takes the pitch. And he goes next to nowhere as the first quarter will come to a close. Joshua Angelo with the tackle, and the teams will head to their respective sidelines as we get ready for the second 12 minutes of action. 0-0 the score, Kennardale and East Pennsboro. So, Bruce, you've watched 12 minutes of football. I've watched 12 minutes of football. What do you take out of what you've seen so far?
Well, both teams are, I think, a little bit nervous. Couple of mistakes, and special teams, a couple of issues related to snaps. That's usually a nerves thing. But I really think that Kennardale had kind of the best of the quarter. They seemed to move the ball a little bit more consistently in the run game, which is their forte. And
this live stream provided by Wadlinger's Glass in Enola, locally owned and operated. Wadlinger's Glass is available for all of your window and glass needs, from residential windows, window replacement and repairs, small commercial jobs, and screen replacement and repairs. Give them a call today, 717-412-8764, 717-412-8764 for Wadlinger's Glass right here in Enola. We thank them for their support. So the first play in the second quarter for Kennardale is a 2nd down and 10 from their own 20. McCleary in motion. Sharp rolling to his right, hit in the backfield as soon as he released. Chase Collette flexing those young muscles, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, I mean, literally, when you talked about, when you said unabated a little bit earlier, he just like shot the gap and like he was shot out of a cannon and went right to the quarterback. But neither one of the teams here seems to be getting in any kind of flow, and that's important. That was actually the first game that I broadcast this year that there weren't points scored in the first quarter, so a little bit unique for me.
3rd down and 10, the ball at the 20, 11:56 remaining first half. McCleary in motion. He takes the handoff coming around following the lead block of Big Sam Gemmel, but that play goes nowhere. Dakota Campbell in on the tackle, also Aaron Angelo, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and about 7. And the last time out for Kennardale, a bobbled exchange between the long snapper Clayton Neff and the punter Dylan Logue.
Yeah, time to, kind of take a deep breath and get the punt off.
Desmond Warren punting this time, and Warren turns it over, and it's fielded at the 50 by Trey Good. 1st down and 10 for the Panthers at midfield.
Now East Pennsboro, they obviously have been the beneficiary of some good field position. Now they got to take advantage of it.
East Pennsboro's last victory came September 22nd against Greencastle, 30-13. Since then, a 10-7 loss to Mechanicsburg, a double OT loss to Northern 28-27, a loss against Shippensburg 35-14, a loss against Susquehanna Township 30-9, and then last week, double overtime loss 13-10 at Waynesboro. And a running play on 1st down, and it's good for about 3 yards. Dakota Campbell with the carry, and the official spot will give him 4, 2nd down and 6.
And East Pennsboro just has to try and get into some kind of offensive flow. It seems like, one play and then either a penalty or something that's setting them back. They've just got to try and get some consistency on offense here.
Otis under center. Campbell the short back. 2 wide receivers to the left. Good goes in motion. And the pitch to Angelo. Angelo looking to turn the corner in front of the Kennardale bench and does so. Run out of bounds by David Smith, but not before he gains about 15. The chains will move 1st down and 10 for East Pennsboro, deep in Kennardale territory. 10:28 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, once he got the corner, went right upfield there. And a good 1st down for East Pennsboro here. Let's see if they can take advantage.
Aaron Angelo came in with 696 yards on the ground, averaging 5.2 yards per carry, and showed some speed there on that run off the left side.
That's really the first time that East Pennsboro's been able to get the edge here tonight.
Angelo in motion. The handoff to Dakota Campbell. Campbell off left guard.
And I like that misdirection. I like, the quarterback going to one side and handing it off to the back going into the other. For nothing more than it makes the defensive, especially the linebackers, stay at home and actually opens up the outside by running that misdirection up the gut.
10 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the first half. 0-0 the score. Joseph Smith had the tackle on the previous run. The Panthers break the huddle, 15 seconds on the play clock. Otis in the gun, 2nd and 4 from the 28. Angelo in motion. He takes the handoff coming around, turns the corner just off the left hip of the right tackle. The chains are going to move. 1st down and 10 on the Angelo 1st down run. Coming out of the pile, helping on with the tackle for Kennardale is Jacob Miller and Keller Green.
Well, now the best drive of the night here for East Pennsboro.
And it started at the 50, so a short field following the defensive stop and the punt from Desmond Warren. Otis in the gun. Good, takes the handoff. He goes nowhere.
Really hard tackling there.
Brandon Thomas with the tackle.
Laying the wood on that one, man.
Officially a 1-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 9. 9 minutes remaining first half. East Pennsboro with 2 timeouts, Kennard with 3. 2 wide receivers split far side right, including Breck and Swope. 15 seconds on the play clock. Sanderson and Angelo in the backfield, but Otis will keep.
Wow, interesting call on 2nd and 9.
An 8-yard gain, 3rd down and 1 on the run from Otis.
Now, you maybe see that quarterback sneak like that up the middle from the pistol, but rarely from under center on 2nd down in the middle of the field.
Otis had 3:13 on the ground coming into this one. So it's 3rd and a long 1 with 8:13 remaining in the first half. Otis under center. Campbell, Angelo in the backfield. Single man in motion, Jason Gossard, and a flag. Encroachment against Kennardale, and that free 5 will move the chains. 1st down and 10 for the Panthers. A costly mistake about midway through the first half here.
Yeah, you nailed that, Mike. Very costly there. Anytime that you're penalized and it gives your opponent a 1st down as a result, you don't like to give away those freebies like that.
The clock restarts as the ball has been set. It's 1st and goal from the 9. Under 8 minutes remaining in the half. Otis under center. Angelo and Campbell, the 2 backs in the backfield. 2 wide receivers split left. Otis takes the snap. The handoff to Angelo. He's near the goal line. Stopped just inside the 5. Coming out of the pile for Kennardale is Brandon Thomas. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, it looks like East Pennsboro here has been doing it on the ground. They're relying on the big guys, the big uglies up front there to move that Kennardale defense. They've done a great job on this drive.
Jason Gossard, Brecken Swope split far side right. Angelo and Campbell in the backfield. Otis under center. 7:13 remaining in the first half. Angelo takes the run far side right. He's wide, but he crosses the goal line. Touchdown, Panthers.
Great run there. I mean, outran the defender to the outside, cut it upfield, and in for 6.
Aaron Angelo with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Panthers draw first blood in this opening round playoff contest. It's 6-0, pending the extra point off the foot of Dakota Campbell.
Yeah, great drive there by East Pennsboro. As we said, they really needed to take advantage of the good field position, and they did with 6. See if they can make it 7.
Brecken Swope the holder. Campbell getting ready to boot it through. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. 7:04 remaining in the first half. It's East Pennsboro 7. Check that. Flag on the play.
Oh. Has to be something.
Scuffing the kicker.
Okay.
Which is some combination of roughing and running into. We'll just go with scuffing the kicker.
It's a good one.
Wadlinger's Glass presents tonight's web stream. We thank them for their support. Wadlinger's Glass from Enola. They handle the residential window and glass work that you need, including replacement and repair, small commercial jobs, screen replacement and repair as well. Give them a call at 717-412-8764.
7:04 left in the half.
And now, Bruce, I have to admit, I was looking down. The extra point was good.
It was good, yes.
Okay, so the scoreboard has just not updated it yet, because I'm thinking if there's a penalty of running into the kicker and you missed it, well, you'd kick it again.
You're preaching to the choir here about getting paranoid about scoreboards not updating. Not that it isn't very easy for me to just press a button.
I see the problem.
Yeah?
They updated the score in the timeout column.
Oh.
I looked over there, and East Pennsboro all of a sudden had 7 timeouts.
Well, okay.
So there was a 7 on the board. It was just in the wrong slot. And now it's 7-0, and that scuffing the kicker penalty is going to be enforced here on the kickoff. So Dakota Campbell, who just made the extra point and drew the foul, is going to take a breather. as Chase Deibler will kick it off. Campbell is a guaranteed touchback if he was going to boot it through, so maybe allowing Deibler to boot it deep is an opportunity for a return. High, end over end. It's going to be fielded at about the 2-yard line. The return man, David Smith, slips. And now the ball loose. Fumble on the play, recovered by East Pennsboro.
Wow.
Matthew Sullivan. And you could say that was all set up by the roughing the kicker penalty, because if you don't rough the kicker, you kick off from a normal line. Dakota Campbell kicks it off. Maybe he puts it into the end zone. Instead, the penalty, up 5 yards. Chase Deibler kicks, and then you have that fumble on the return.
You're preaching to the choir on that one too, Mike. I totally agree that, football is so crazy, and that one play can change the course of an entire game, and the dominoes fall a different direction if there's no penalty on that extra point.
First down and 10 Panthers, the second consecutive possession for East Pennsboro. Otis in the gun, 3 wide receivers to his right. Angelo goes in motion. Otis is going to keep, spins off some pressure in the middle of the field. Finally tackled down by his waistband. Brandon Thomas with the stop. 6:42 remaining first half. A gain of 4. Second down and 6 for East Pennsboro.
More great field position here for the Panthers. They can kind of taste the blood in the water here now.
And this is Dakota Campbell field goal territory as well.
And
Paul Sanderson in the backfield. Sorry to cut you off there.
No problem.
Angelo takes the handoff. Stop near the line of scrimmage. Keller Green with the tackle.
Flag came flying in there in the direction of holding.
Waiting for the official call from referee Dave Anderson, and holding is the call against East Pennsboro. So back them up 10 from the spot of the foul. It'll still be second down, just second and a little bit longer.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, it's second down holding penalty, some kind of the death knell to drives, I can tell you that.
East Pennsboro doesn't pass the ball all that much. In fact, just 548 yards on the season, but this is a perfect opportunity to see what Otis can bring to the table. I've also seen some trickery out of East Pennsboro this year. Dakota Campbell can throw the touchdown pass as well, so we'll see what Coach Dennison has drawn up here on second down and 18.
Yeah, and I think maybe a function of the lack of passing was the fact that, Otis has been out for a few games.
East Pennsboro letting the play clock run down and will call a timeout.
Interesting.
The second charge timeout for East Pennsboro in this first half. Wadlinger's Glass brings tonight's game to you. The live stream provided by Wadlinger's Glass in Enola. Locally owned and operated. That's extra important. Wadlinger's Glass, they're available for all of your window and glass needs, from residential windows, window replacement and repairs, small commercial jobs, and screen replacement and repairs. Give them a call, 717-412-8764.
Boy, we're al fresco tonight. Another beautiful night for football, Mike. I mean, we've really been blessed this season with, actually very good, very benign weather to play football. What do you think?
Well, it has been a nice season for sure. Throughout my 10-week schedule this year, there were only 1 or 2 nights where I wish I might have layered up. But I referenced earlier the last time I was here at John Gross Field at George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. It was raining sideways and raining hard. So I'll take this low 60s heading into the second week of November weather anytime.
My shoes are still wet from week 10 last year. So
Otis throwing it deep. There's that pass we talked about. It is complete. Touchdown. Trey Good. Keith Otis to Trey Good, 28 yards on 2nd and 18, and East Pennsboro strikes again.
Incredible pass there by Otis. He was double covered, threw it to the outside shoulder where only his receiver can get it, and he got it for 6.
Keith Otis' 5th touchdown pass of the season. And Dakota Campbell makes his way onto the green. The green, that's a putting green out there right now.
It really is. I mean, well, let's just say it would be equivalent maybe to the first cut at the Masters. So
the soccer dad in me almost said pitch, but I know that's not the right right
not,
term.
Not in the U.S. We don't say pitch. Okay?
Ted Lasso, I am not.
That's a baseball terminology. It's not soccer or whatever.
Dakota Campbell to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Brecken Swope. The snap, the hold, the kick is blocked.
Wow.
The extra point is blocked, and busting through is Brandon Thomas. We've said his name a lot tonight, and he makes a difference on special teams. 13-0 the score, 5:39 remaining in the first half, and Kennardale's going to get another opportunity to have that possession they should have had about 6 plays ago.
So often those missed extra points come back to haunt you. Let's see if it does this time. Kennardale still with plenty of time here, 5:39 remaining in the half. Let's see if they can get some points on the board.
If you had to give like a weighted scale grade, what is worse, a turnover or a missed extra point?
I'd say a turnover because of the opportunity to get actually 6 points rather than 1.
Like
so.
A turnover could be worth, say, 2 points on the we did bad stuff scale, and a missed extra point is like a 1 on a we did bad stuff scale.
Yeah, I would definitely turnover because the opportunity to get more points, but also retain the ball too. Don't limiting your opponent on possessions is a big part of this game, and getting that ball back and away from your opponent, very, very important.
East Pennsboro will kick off from the 25-yard line.
And there was a penalty against East Pennsboro on the extra point attempt because now the Panthers will be kicking off from the 25. David Smith and Garrett McCleary back deep. And to your point, Bruce, I watched last week as the Northern Polar Bears, who are headed to the postseason as well, had only 3 possessions in the second half against Mechanicsburg, but ran the ball on every single one of those plays, gaining 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, and just took the ball out of the hands of the Wildcats en route to a 21-14 win at Memorial Park at John H. Frederick Field last weekend.
Bill Miller, one of my favorite guys in coaching at District 3. Bill and I consider him a friend, and I love what he's done with that team this year, and they're always hard-nosed, that's for sure.
Dakota Campbell, toe meets ball, fielded on the far side of the field by Garrett McCleary. And McCleary comes near side. Garrett McCleary tackled in the open field one-on-one. Marcel Reed with the stop. A nice job by Marcel Reed breaking down, staying in his lane, and pulling McCleary down. First down and 10 for the Rams. 5:31 remaining. And the ball's going to be spotted here about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it's quite an art form for a football team to be able to, run the football and possess it and keep it away from your opponent. But in the case of Kennardale, who really relies on the run game, now it's a curse.
First and 10, and a running play goes nowhere.
I think just an enormous possession here, or enormous set of downs here for Kennardale. Trying to get something on the board here before halftime, I think, is very important. And a good buddy of mine, Dan Sosik, who covers sports for Penn Live, I agree with Dan. He puts a lot of weight on the final possession of a half in setting momentum for a football team. And the more I see that, the more I agree with Dan. And this is just a very important possession, very important set of downs here for Kennardale to get back in this and to just get some confidence. They just don't seem to have a lot of confidence out there right now.
The Rams call a timeout, their first charge timeout of the half. And if you're head coach Christopher Grube, what do you tell your young men at this point? You haven't been able to do much of anything right. Still plenty of time left in the ball game, but you don't want to fall behind knowing that East Pennsboro also gets the ball to start the third quarter.
Quite honestly, I think a lot of it relies with coaching. I think that you've got to do some items like I talk about to get your players in the flow of the game, to get their emotions up, okay? Whether it's a trick play, whether you pull something out of the back of the playbook, break tendency, you got to do something. I mean, what do they say about doing the same thing over and over again, especially in a football game? Do something different.
Yeah, that I believe is the definition of insanity.
I didn't say that. You did. But I think breaking tendency is the single biggest thing that they can do to get back in this game, and that's a coaching decision. As they're trying to throw the ball.
And that pass is incomplete. Jessup Sharp rolling near side right, looking for Keller Green. And it's going to bring a third down and long.
There's a difference between breaking tendency and, doing something that you're not good at. I think that, getting some running plays that, like I said, maybe some misdirection. They haven't really been running wide too much. Maybe set the edge, double reverse, something like that. Something crazy, but running the football. That's their forte.
Third down and 12, Jessup Sharp in the shotgun. Gavin Sparks off his right hip, and a delay of game penalty is going to push the Rams back 5 yards with 4:46 remaining.
Boy, not good. That drives them back there, too. That, that yard marker just hasn't been Kennard Dale's friend tonight.
The Rams started out with promise. 2 long drives. One ended with a punt, the other on a muffed punt snap, helping set up the first East Pennsboro touchdown. Gavin Sparks, sidecar right. Shotgun snap taken by McCleary, and McCleary is going to be flung down. So Coach Group trying something a little bit different with Garrett McCleary taking the snap from center, and he goes nowhere. So 4th down and long, and Desmond Warren trots back out to punt the ball away as East Pennsboro has a very good opportunity to have their second consecutive possession from the 50 in.
Yeah, just important right now. No mistakes here on the kick.
Brecken Swope standing at the 50. Warren's punt is short. And it rolls sideways, ultimately going to be downed by Dominic Youngblood. First down and 10 for East Pennsboro from inside the 45. 4 minutes even remaining on the first half clock.
Well, this will be the third drive of the first half that East Pennsboro will start at midfielder in Kennard Dale territory.
So East Penn with 1 timeout remaining, and the Panthers will have the ball to start the second half. Kennard Dale still with 2 timeouts.
You gotta want it.
The Panthers break the huddle. Otis under center. Single receiver split left. That's Jason Gossard. Campbell takes the handoff. Campbell stopped by Gavin Sparks and Brandon Thomas. Thomas has been all over the place tonight for Coach Groom.
Yeah, he really has, and no time to let up now. I mean, they got to buckle up the chin straps here and keep Kennard Dale from any more points, that's for sure.
Second down and 7, 3:35 remaining on the second quarter clock, 20 seconds on the play clock. Otis under center, Campbell the single back in the backfield. Otis, busted play, scrambles right, near the line to gain, and Bruce, it was a busted play because Sam Gemmel was in the backfield and nearly took the handoff.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes those are you end up with the best result, but Otis, really an experienced guy, and really made something out of nothing there. Now just 3rd and short.
.15 seconds on the play clock. East Pennsboro taking its time as it breaks huddle. 2:45 remaining on the game clock. 13-0 the score. Panthers lead. A running touchdown and a passing touchdown. Gossard in motion. Gossard goes from left to right. The pitch to Dakota Campbell. Campbell picks up the first down and then some. Tackled at the 20-yard line. Gavin Sparks in the area. And Gavin Sparks is short in stature, but strong in playing ability. 5'7", 155, and that 5'7" might be generous, but he is all over the place.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, East Pennsboro now really getting confident on offense now. They've got that Kennard Dale defense back on their heels. Nice run there on the outside.
First and 10. The ball spotted at the 18. 10 seconds on the play clock. Angelo in the backfield. Campbell as well. The pitch goes to Angelo. He has one rushing touchdown tonight. Can he make it two? Well, not on this play, he can't. And a nice job by Sparks one more time. Brandon Thomas as well. A gain of 3, second down and 7 as the clock continues to wind with 2:13 remaining.
You know, and when you've got a good kicker as East Pennsboro does, it really creates a whole different methodology of calling plays. You know, you don't really right now, being in field goal range, you don't really have to let it out and go for the end zone. You can be a little methodical here.
This is Dakota Campbell field goal territory. Angelo split far side left along with Chase Deibler. It's a running play, though, as Otis keeps. No gain on the play, and a timeout has been called.
Yeah, good timeout.
Brandon Thomas again with the stop. Wadlinger's Glass, proud supporter of tonight's broadcast. Residential windows and glass, window replacement and repair. Small commercial jobs, screen replacement and repair. The folks at Wadlinger's do it all. Give them a call, 717-412-8764. Fair to say they will save your glass if you got a problem.
Okay, I knew. I heard that pregame. I knew we were going to hear that during the game. But good stuff, Mike. Hey, listen, thanks for jumping on last minute. It's been a blast this first half, man. I really enjoyed it. Great job. I mean, with the play-by-play.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I was in the middle of heating up some French fries today at lunch, and get the call, and here we are. It's amazing. I had to make some secondary plans with the kids for this evening, but I appreciate the ex-wife, if you will, for stepping up and taking the kids to soccer. And I joked with you. I'm not ashamed to say it out loud. I said she's my ex-wife, but I still have to check in and get permission.
Huh?
Because I needed her to help out tonight.
Well, it was nice that there was a little preamble. I mean, we kind of reached out to one another to get to know one another, and look what happens.
Otis in the gun, pass complete. Touchdown, Brecken Swope. Brecken Swope 16 yards out on 3rd down and 8, and East Pennsboro with its 3rd score of the first half.
Well, and he caught the pass, eluded the tackler, and there was no help there for the defense, and all the way in for the score. And boy, does that really just deflate the balloon of Kennard Dale.
Certainly not helpful. East Pennsboro choosing to kick the extra point versus going for 2 this time around.
No reason to chase points. I don't see why coaches early in games are chasing points. I agree with going for just the extra point here.
The snap, the hold, the kick is up. It is good. No flags either.
No flags, and it didn't get blocked. How about that?
95 seconds remaining in the first half. It's East Pennsboro 20, Kennardale 0. And you know what? Jokes aside, Bruce, I actually have a great working relationship with my ex-wife, so I really appreciate her being able to help out tonight. And I told my kids earlier in the week, I am not going to chase a game this week. If somebody calls me, we'll have that conversation. But I'm not chasing a game this week. And here you go. You give me a call.
How about that?
I didn't get the French fries heated up enough, though. I had to throw them away. I don't know. There's some things you just can't reheat. Fries you usually can reheat, but today it didn't work.
Yeah, well,
I was distracted.
Distracted, right? Because he had to get ready for the game.
My mind went from making French fries to I need a roster.
Hey, let's. Oh, my God. The instinctive reaction of an announcer when they're asked to do a game is like, oh, my God, I'm not ready, But that's great stuff.
And a big thanks as well to the folks at Kennardale. I emailed them, and actually Coach Grube got back to me real quick and gave me everything I needed. I think the stars aligned to get the data in less than 90 minutes. So it was pretty cool, and it's fun to be here tonight at John Gross Field at George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium as Dakota Campbell kicks it deep, end over end, and it's a touchback. So 1st down and 10 for Kennardale. 1:35 remaining in the first half, down 20-0, and the Rams will have the ball on their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Coach Grube here, I think that you've really got to send a message to your team that you're here to win this game. So you really want to try and pull out all the stops.
Well, and knowing that East Penn gets the ball back to start the second half, you really want to work to get some points here over the last 95 seconds, especially when you have 2 timeouts, or 1 now, as the scoreboard says, versus the 7 that was there earlier.
Yeah, so difficult to go 80 yards in such a small amount of time.
Garrett McCleary in the gun. McCleary, 3-step drop, the pass, incomplete, intended for David Smith. And it was Keith Otis on the coverage.
Yeah, but you can't be careless with the football either. If you're the best thing that happened in high school football in the last year is the rule change that allows for to be able to throw the ball away and not be charged with intentional line. Now he was within the tackle box on that play, but.
McCleary in the gun. McCleary. Pass. Incomplete. Intended for Dominic Smith. Smith might have short-armed that one a little bit, coming across the middle with the pressure from Dakota Campbell in the area. And when you're down 20-0, you simply can't afford to drop passes that otherwise probably could be caught.
And that was the right pass to throw, too, because the East Pennsboro defense is just backpedaling at the snap.
Beautiful slant pass.
Yeah, the defense is just – they're 20 yards back downfield. So what you've got to do is hit somebody on a crossing route and hope that you get some yak.
1:28 remaining on the first half clock. And if if Kennardale's not careful, East Penn's going to get the ball back before the half comes to an end. McCleary rolling to his right under pressure, jump pass back across the left, and Otis picks it off. Well, East Pennsboro got the ball back, and Otis matriculates the ball inside the 15, tackled by Gavin Sparks. And when I said East Pennsboro might get the ball back, I didn't think they'd get it so close to the goal line with so much time left, but that's what happened.
Wow, and that's what I was talking about, too. You can't get careless with the ball. He's running to his right, and he's throwing back to his left through defensive traffic, and that's usually what happens is that nothing good. And in that case, a nice interception.
Coach Dennison excited to have Otis playing defense again, and that's paying off. Otis under center. Rolling to his left, some backside pressure. The pass completed to Angelo, and Angelo battling for extra yardage. Tackled by Joseph Smith, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and short from near the 5-yard line.
Boy, East Pennsboro all of a sudden just kind of running through those Kennard Dale tacklers.
Angelo splits far side right. Brecken Swope over there as well, along with Trey Good. Dakota Campbell, the single back in the backfield. Otis looking right. High, arcing pass intended for Good. No good. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6.
I was wondering when we were going to hear that. But, no, the right play. A good kind of, corner route. It was well defended. But still, I think the appropriate pass there. A lot of room off to that side. I think that East Pennsboro are going to try and work on that portion of the end zone again.
36.6 seconds remaining. 10 seconds on the play clock as East Pennsboro breaks the huddle. Still plenty of time. Otis in the gun. Angelo in motion, takes the handoff coming around. Has wide open spaces on the far side, but that path to the goal line was cut off by Brandon Thomas. And it's 4th down and short, and East Pennsboro looking to call a timeout and play for the final points of the half.
You were exactly right. When he got that ball, there was nothing but wide open spaces in front of him. And a great job, with closing speed there by the defender.
John Dennison waiting for the clock to get down to around 2 or 3 seconds before he calls that final timeout and then sends the field goal unit onto the field. And the clock stops with 0.8 seconds remaining. That's the game we would play with a stopwatch, is how fast can you start it and stop it. And in this case, 0.8 is the answer.
Well, look, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because it's fourth down, but in cases like that, as you're winding down the clock, it doesn't make sense to wind it all the way down because you never know if you get a bad snap or there's a penalty or, you never know. I mean, if for some reason you do the field goal and then there's a penalty, well, you get the ball again because it's a defensive penalty, but still, calling it with a few seconds on the clock yet, not a bad idea.
Otis to attempt about a 26-yard field goal, well within his range. He has missed one extra point tonight, though it was blocked. Brecken Swope, who was the recipient of a touchdown pass earlier, is the holder. And the snapper, Logan Newman. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. And it's good as the horn sounds. The two teams will head to their respective quiet places here, and it'll be halftime. Big halftime show coming up, Bruce. Absolutely nothing. We'll watch the marching band. Looks like Kennard shipped their marching band here to East Penn, so we'll check out the marching Rams or the battling Rams. The band is coming up soon.
How about that? Well, we're going to take a little break here. Mike and I swallow a little water, do some evaluations of what happened in the first half, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks for joining us here. SSP Network presents East Pennsboro, and
tonight's game is presented by Wadlinger's Glass of Enola, 717-412-8764. Give them a call if you've got some busted glass. They can fix it. Residential, windows, and glass, window replacement and repair, small commercial jobs, screen replacement and repair. That's Wadlinger's Glass right here in Enola, 717-412-8764. It is halftime, and we'll be back to talk at you in just a bit. East Pennsboro 23, Kennard 0. Welcome back to John Gross Field and George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. Mike Garland, Bruce Badgley. It is PIAA District 3 4A playoff action. The East Pennsboro Panthers lead the Kennard Rams 23-0. A field goal off the foot of Dakota Campbell was the final few points of the first half. But this really was all East Pennsboro over the first 24 minutes, Bruce.
It was, and Kennard definitely, helped East Pennsboro out with obviously the fumbled snap on the punt, the interception, and it just led we played most of the first half in the Kennard-Dale end of the field. And you just can't do that if you expect to win football games. And East Pennsboro, hey, look, they had their share of mistakes too, but I expect East Pennsboro to maybe take a little bit, slower this half, maybe, grind it out a bit more, limit the possessions of Kennard-Dale, and move on into the second round against Bishop McDevitt, which we really haven't talked about yet.
Well, Bishop McDevitt's 8-1 on the season. They lost a game earlier this year when they were to play a Canadian team. So just 9 games for the Crusaders this season. They are the number 1 seed, and they await the winner of tonight's contest. And we asked both coaches pregame, you're 4-6. One of you is going to go on and face the top seed Bishop McDevitt Crusaders. And, of course, as any coach would, they're focused on this week. They're focused on going 1-0 this week. And right now, Coach John Dennison is well on the way to that undefeated week.
Yeah, 1-0. And look, it is exactly what coaches talk about. Okay.
Wadlinger's Glass presents tonight's broadcast. Wadlinger's of Enola. They handle residential windows and glass, window replacement and repair, small commercial jobs, screen replacement and repair. Give them a call at 717-412-8764, 717-412-8764.
Yeah, Bishop McDevitt isn't 10-0 anymore. They're 0-0. Just like both of these teams. They're 0-0.
Dylan Logue kicking off to start the second half for the Rams. Knuckling kick. It's going to be fielded near the 10. Aaron Angelo and a flag. So a holding call against East Penn will bring this one back. First down and 10 for the Panthers, but just from a little farther back than where they are right now.
But I expect them to just grind this one out. Run the ball. And that's the surest thing of why John Dennison's probably going to pass it. But I would expect a very deliberate style here, up 23-0, especially now, kind of back in your own end here. This is, I think, probably the worst field position they've had all night to start a drive.
No, and if I may offer a backwards compliment, they've earned it. They've earned this field position.
Yeah.
Holding penalties will do that to you. First down and 10 for the Panthers, 11:51 remaining in the third quarter. East Penn breaks the huddle with 20 seconds on the play clock. Otis under center, Angelo and Campbell, the two backs in the backfield. Angelo takes the handoff, met at the line of scrimmage. Gavin Sparks first on the scene. No gain, or maybe a gain of 1, depending on the official spot. But regardless, second down and long.
I'm sure Chris Grube had a lot of fiery things to say to his Rams team here. And I'm really interested to see what kind of fire they come out with to start this half.
Second and 9, the ball at the 21. 15 seconds on the play clock. Otis under center. Angelo and Campbell in the backfield. Campbell looking to pass. Brecken Swope with the reception. And Brecken Swope into plus territory. David Smith with the tackle.
Somebody said something wrong.
They ran that play against Mechanicsburg earlier this year for a touchdown. This time around, a gain of about 40, and there are 2 flags on the play following the conclusion. It's going to be a dead ball foul on sportsmanlike conduct against East Pennsboro. So first down, but backwards. Now, I believe I saw Swope spike the ball down when he got up.
And that's what caused it. Now, I didn't see that. I was paying attention to something else. But, boy, that's a sure way to – it was very interesting because my grandson just started playing tackle football. The kid's 7 years old. he scored a touchdown, and he spiked the ball.
You
and
can't
he
do that.
didn't know it was against the rules because he sees the pros do it.
It goes to show the influence the millionaire pro athletes can have on the youth.
He was totally shocked that he got flagged.
Otis keeps on 1st and 10, breaks through the second level, and gains 11 yards.
Wow.
Chains will move on the Keith Otis quarterback keeper.
Yeah, I tell you what. And look, you can't fault him. We talk about, emotion and staying within the moment all the time, but that you really just can't do. But look, I mean, a great play there. They got the first down. No harm, no foul.
1st down and 10 for the Panthers. The ball at the Kennardale 48-yard line. Dakota Campbell takes the handoff, stopped at the line of scrimmage. A nice job reading the assignment. Sam Gemmel, the senior defensive lineman, 6'2", 260. And it's 2nd down and 9.
Campbell picks up 1 yard, 2nd and 9 for the Panthers.
And I'm not entirely sure what this Kennardale defense has got up its sleeve, but they sure need to rise up right here and now.
Otis in the gun. Single man in motion. That's Trey Good. Otis looking Good's way. Lobs it up. The pass is incomplete right in front of the Kennardale sideline. And a nice job defensively by Joseph Smith on the coverage. Otis was looking for Good from the start, and Smith stayed with him. And it's an incomplete pass. 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, no, that was great coverage. I mean, it was kind of a wheel route up the sideline.
East Pennsboro, the 8 seed. Kennardale, the 9 seed. The Panthers 4-6, 1-6 in Mid-Penn Colonial. Losers of 5 in a row coming into this one. Kennardale 4-6, 3-3 in York Adams 2. Wrapped up the regular season with a victory. It's 3rd down and 9. 3 seconds on the play clock as Otis snaps that pass complete to Dakota Campbell. He sheds one would-be tackler, and he's off to the races. Dakota Campbell tackled near the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up a 1st down and possibly goal or 1st and 10. And Dominic Smith with the stop, and I think it was David Smith who made the initial contact to Campbell, but Campbell got rid of him and picked up about 20 more yards. 1st and goal from the 9.
Well, what did I say to start this drive? I thought that they were going to
run
the ball, but I said that was probably the surest reason why John Dennison was going to throw it.
Otis in the gun. Good the motion man. Good takes the handoff. And Good into the second level. Tackled by Sam Gemmel. Also on the tackle, Connor Wolf. 2nd down and goal from near the 5.
He's going to save his money, he said.
Yeah, East Pennsboro just really midway through the second quarter, a light just went on that offensive squad, and they really started to gain some momentum, really started to gain some consistency, and the play calling keeping Kennardale on their heels on defense.
Angelo into the end zone. Touchdown, East Pennsboro. 8:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Aaron Angelo with his 2nd touchdown of the night, his 6th of the season, and it's 29-0 Panthers.
Man. Really taking advantage of, this possession right out of the halftime. And not missing a beat, just like in the second quarter.
Dakota Campbell to attempt the extra point. Brecken Swope, the holder. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. And it is good. 8:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's East Pennsboro 30, Kennardale nothing.
Boy, that ball just rockets off the foot of Dakota there, man. He is quite the kicker.
I look over there and I'm waiting for some unsuspecting customer in line at the snack shack to get drilled in the back of the head with an extra point. Hasn't happened yet, but there's still time.
Still time is right.
Wadlinger's Glass. They made this happen tonight, I think.
They sure did.
You made a call. You know some people. So Wadlinger's Glass brings this broadcast to you. They're right here in Enola. Give them a call if you have any questions about your glass or screen repairs, 717-412-8764. They can handle windows, glass, residential, commercial, replacements, repairs. They can do screen replacements and repairs as well. If you've got a cat who likes to use your screen as a scratching post, I feel like Wadlingers will either take your cat or fix your screen. Either way, give them a call, 717-412-8764. It probably comes down to how much you enjoy your cat versus the comfort of a screen. But either way.
Either way. Let's thank Dan Etter here, the athletic director at East Pennsboro. Dan's been very helpful this year, and Dan actually is the one that kind of put this broadcast together. So you fans of East Pennsboro can thank Dan for getting this ball game on the air.
Dakota Campbell's kick fielded by Garrett McCleary, and McCleary comes near side in front of the Kennardale bench, still on his feet, and finally brought down by Campbell at the 40-yard line. First down and 10 for the Rams, some of the best field position Kennardale's seen in quite some time, as they are looking to put their first points of the night on the board. 8:38 remaining third quarter.
It has been a long time since the Rams have crossed midfield. I think it's a function of, A, the turnovers, and B, this East Pennsboro defense would just play well all night long.
Jessup Sharp is back under center. Sharp handing it off. Gavin Sparks with the carry. And Sparks gaining 6, second down and 4. And Gavin Sparks might be the spark that Kennardale needs here in the second half to get a little something going. Coming out of the pile, Keith Otis, also Aaron Angelo.
Yeah, and I may have mentioned this before, but, sometimes you got to go to the bottom of the playbook, when you're down 30-0. To light a spark in your team, as well as trying to, create some holes in that East Pennsboro defense.
Jessup Sharp under center. McCleary in motion. Sparks takes the handoff. Sparks is going to move the chains. Gain of about 10. First down and 10 for Sparks. Tackle made for East Pennsboro by Joshua Angelo. Lots of Angelos on the team. Joshua, in this case, getting his name called by the announcer.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk to John to see whether, those guys were brothers. But I tell you what, though, the Kennardale offensive line there, those guys are still out there hustling and playing a lot of downfield blocks on that last play, that's for sure.
Sharp under center. The handoff to Joseph Smith. And Smith gains a yard before he is tackled by Chase Collette, a junior. 5'11", 170 is Chase Collette, coming up from his linebacker position. And there's an official's timeout for an injured Ram. Slow to get up is Sam Gemmel. We've mentioned his name a couple of times tonight, and he's limping off the field under his own power. Maybe a cylinder down, but still under his own power.
Cylinder down. I like that, man. I like that. I guess I'll make sure that it's not if, but when I use that, I'll definitely credit you, my friend.
Oh,
That's
free.
A good one.
Thank you. What I lack in talent, I make up for in whimsical thought. Second down and 9, 7 minutes, 3 seconds remaining, third quarter. Sharp rolling to his right. The pass completed to Joseph Smith. And Smith very close to the line to gain. Tough to tell from the current angle as to whether or not the chains will move.
I think he's got it.
And
yeah.
we do get the official signal from referee Dave Anderson. So consecutive first downs for the Rams and into plus territory. First down and 10 from the East Penn 47, 6:47 remaining third quarter. Trailing 30-0, the Rams playing for pride in what will likely be their final game of the season. Sparks takes the handoff. Stop near the 30. Angelo, Aaron in this case, with the tackle.
Yeah, really the first drive in some time that Kennardale has looked like they have any semblance of rhythm
2nd and 3 for these Pennsboro.
I just find it amazing how sometimes teams, they just get that momentum back and get that rhythm back at the drop of a hat after being gone for so long during a game.
Sharp under center. The handoff to Joseph Smith. Smith into the second level. The chains will move again. Tackle made by Chase Deibler. First down and 10 for the Rams.
Yeah, down to, looks like clock a stop for the first down again. So 5:56 remaining here in quarter number 3 with the clock winding again.
9-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for the Panthers, 21-yard line.
And an official's timeout.
It's like
Make that a Kennardale timeout.
Kennardale.
Kennardale takes their first timeout of the second half. Want to shout out the Snack Shack over there. I don't know anyone over there, and I'm impressed with the pricing. I went over there, bottle of water, $1. Skittles, $2. And honestly, I mean, it's the last home game of the year, win or lose, so maybe it's a blowout sale. But I appreciate their hospitality over there. The hot foods smell good, look good. The sugary snacks, also delicious.
You know, and that's a lot of the reason why District 3 went to, the top seed, being the home team, because, those teams are the ones that are typically have been playing, and, all the staff know that. I mean, everybody knows going in what the deal is. So I've always liked when District 3, since District 3 has gone to the higher seeded team hosting rather than neutral site games.
Sharp under center, the handoff to Jack McShane, a name we're saying for the first time tonight, and McShane picks up a yard, maybe 2 on the carry.
What's your feeling, Mike, on the old way of a neutral site versus the new way of top-seeded team getting the home field advantage?
Neutral site's cool because it gives the player and the fan an opportunity to experience a stadium and a venue maybe they never have before, but from a budgetary standpoint and from a logistics standpoint, it just makes sense. Let the top teams host throughout. Have your championship at a neutral site as Sparks is very close to the line to gain, does pick up the first down. First and goal, Kennardale Rams from inside the 10. And, school districts across the board in the entire Keystone State and really across the country, they're all in a financial pinch. And, District 3 may be able to chip in some dollars for travel, but it just makes sense to keep the teams home. The top teams can play at their home venue.
I think that it helps the regular season, too, makes it more relevant.
McCleary taking the handoff, coming around from the motion spot on the left side.
I mean, every game is important then if, determining home field advantage.
At the same time, I'll question the need to have a 6A level in Pennsylvania. I know that high school football is king in the state, but you look at single A, and I haven't followed up to see if Fairfield even played in the game, but Steel High as the number 1 seed would have been playing Fairfield, a 2-8 number 2 seed.
Yeah, we were talking about that pregame, and I even touched on that point during my Fresh Set of Downs podcast, which you can watch on SSP Network. I touched on that actually earlier this week about the fact that so many districts just don't have enough 5 and 6A teams. And, these teams are getting walkovers the month of November, where districts like District 1 has a complete 16-team bracket in both 6A and 5A. They're playing 4 games where some teams are only playing 2 and 1. Not fair in my view. And
third and goal from the 3, and East Pennsboro jumps offside, so that's going to move the ball about a yard and a half. It'll still be third down, just a little bit shorter. Conversely, to your point, District 10 only has a couple of teams. There's some litigation involved as to whether or not Butler would be able to play in the postseason or not. But regardless, Erie Cathedral Prep only needs to play, 1 or 2 games, and they're in the state semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, and that affects it. I mean, 4 bruising playoff games versus just like 2 games, 1 really, when you consider.
Quarterback sneak as Jessup Sharp keeps. He is short of the goal line, so we're going to bring up 4th down and inches. You've seen the Philadelphia Eagles all season long on short yardage to go, lining Jalen Hurts up in basically victory formation, taking the snap, and then everybody pushes forward. And we saw it again last night, and the NFL reiterated the rule is you cannot pull the runner. You can push the runner, but you cannot pull the runner when aiding the progress. So it's 4th and goal from the 1. Another quarterback sneak.
And he's pushing him.
And Jessup Sharp, it looked like he was standing in the end zone, but no official call. And if he's not in, that's an amazing defensive stand by East Pennsboro. And Jessup Sharp is standing with the football, pleading his case to his head coach, Christopher Grube. And we don't have replay on this deal. The best you can do is, back up your YouTube browser and check it out again. But I don't see how that wasn't a touchdown.
It sure looked like there was enough. It sure looked like there was enough push. And it did look like he was standing in the end zone, or at least had 1 foot in there.
Well, it's 1st down and 10 for East Pennsboro, and if they are any further than the length of a football past the goal line, I'd be shocked. Otis under center. Angelo
and the
in the
timeout.
backfield. And there's an illegal substitution penalty against East Pennsboro. That will back the ball up all of about an inch.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter other than it stops the clock because they can't move the football because it'd be a safety.
Now, check that. Bruce, they call illegal substitution against Kennardale.
Oh.
That's usually something that you see with regards to 12 players in the huddle when you break the huddle.
Oh, my.
Well, that does give East Pennsboro a little breathing room. So now it's 1st and 5 with 2:58 remaining in the third quarter. 30-0 East Pennsboro leads. Otis in the shotgun. Dakota Campbell behind him. Aaron Angelo in motion, takes the handoff. And he's stopped not far past the line of scrimmage by David Smith. 2nd down and short for the Panthers.
Yeah, it looks like he got the first down. So officials waving his arms in the air.
Our vantage point angle is atrocious.
It's
from
tough.
Where we are. I mean, we are gracious for where we are, but we are at a level at the field where it's just tough to really judge where the ball's being spotted. I'll own that one.
Yeah, it's tough.
Angelo in motion, low shotgun snap, but the handoff to Angelo nonetheless. He gains 3, 2nd down and 7. And it's possible that my biggest mistake is just assuming that I know where the ball's going to be spotted after the run.
Yeah, depth perception is not a strong suit of this broadcast position, that's for sure.
Or of this broadcaster.
All right, here we go. It's 30-0. Here they come.
2nd down and 6. The ball at the 14-yard line. 2 minutes remaining.
Oh, my.
Third quarter.
Did you see that player just fall down?
I did not.
Literally just collapsed on the field. He was standing there and just fell over.
And then he popped right back up. So was that an opportunity to, they say go down if you're hurt. Maybe you take a knee. He feigned limping. Now he's walking off.
It looked like he almost fainted, but he got right up.
Clearly he needs attention. You don't do something like that unless there's a need. So we hope that Gemmel's okay.
He came off under his own power, so that's the best sign. I don't recall ever seeing that.
No, but he's now off on his own. There's no trainer talking with him, so just an interesting scenario there.
Yeah.
2nd down and 6. 1:42 remaining, third quarter. 20 seconds on the play clock. Otis in the gun. Single back in the backfield. This time it's Jason Gossard. Gossard takes the handoff. And Gossard into the secondary. The chains will move. 1st down and 10, East Pennsboro. Tackle by Garrett McCleary. And East Penn's looking at 1, maybe 2 more plays here to wrap up the third quarter. Primarily running the ball tonight. Both teams really. It's been a fast-paced ball game. Couple of passes, couple of incompletions, but for the most part, it's been what the coaches said it was going to be. A lot of running.
A lot of running, and the one thing that's impressed me about East Pennsboro, they've really showcased a lot of good team speed up the middle and around the end tonight.
10 seconds on the play clock, 1 minute on the third quarter game clock. Angelo in motion. Otis tucks and keeps, still on his feet. Gain of about 4. Tackle made for Kennard by Logan Sheppers Jr., 6'1", 189. Second down and 6.
Yeah, we're getting into that mode now where it's, just burn a clock time for East Pennsboro. Down under 30 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3. Thanks for joining us here, SSP Network, District 3, East Pennsboro Sports.
Angelo in motion. Should be the final play of the third quarter as Angelo takes it around the far side, picks up the first down.
Wow.
And then some.
Just kept going.
First down and 10 for East Pennsboro. The ball just short of the 50-yard line.
Assisted by 44 Jack McShane.
Looks like they're going to spot it and start the clock. Yes, no? Looks like we got a penalty.
Illegal block in the back, so that's why the clock is stopped. And as soon as the ball is set, the clock will start again. So East Pennsboro may not run a play either way. Second down and 14 following the penalty, and the Panthers are content to just let the third quarter clock wind down and run out. Tonight's live stream presented by Wadlinger's Glass in Enola, locally owned and operated. Wadlinger's Glass is available for all of your window and glass needs, from residential windows, replacements, repairs, small commercial jobs, screen replacements, repairs, and more. They can take care of your project. 717-412-8764, 717-412-8764. So I think we can start to look forward to what will be a second-round playoff matchup with the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders and the East Pennsboro Panthers. On paper, it doesn't look like a well-balanced matchup, but luckily Bruce games aren't played on paper. They're played at Bishop McDevitt next weekend.
Yeah, I got an opportunity to broadcast their game with Imhotep Charter the opening weekend, and obviously a very talented squad, one that there's really not anything that you would say that have got any glaring weaknesses by any stretch of the imagination. But I can tell you one thing. Imhotep Charter was able to put pressure on quarterback Stone Saunders and in some sense kind of made him look a little bit human. So I think East Pennsboro, if I was going to give advice to Coach Denniston, who isn't going to listen to me anyway, but somehow I think you got to sell out on trying to get pressure on Stone Saunders, and you might have a chance to keep it close.
Otis, slant pass across the middle, completed to Chase Deibler, and Deibler moves the chains. First down and 10 for the Panthers. Desmond Warren with the tackle. The first play of the fourth quarter continues the positive yardage pattern that East Pennsboro showcased on the back end of the third.
And that game against Imhotep Charter, probably the only game that Saunders was really significantly pressured. I know that they had a game against a 6A opponent, LaSalle College, and kind of had their way with them.
Running play, handoff to Jason Gossard. And there's an argument to be made about the private schools across the state that, their participation in the postseason at some point becomes a competitive imbalance. But at the end of the day, it's still 11 young men versus 11 young men, and you make the best of what's presented to you.
And it really is. I'll be honest with you. I'm fortunate that I have the opportunity. A good friend of mine, Bob Long, does the LaSalle College games. I get opportunities to go and do those games and, get to know those teams and coaches. And you know what? They're just like everybody else, okay? They're out there trying to win.
Running play, Terrell James on the carry. Terrell James gains a yard. And that's absolutely true, except the difference is if East Pennsboro is to play Bishop McDevitt, which will happen next week. East Pennsboro's talent pool is within this school district right here. The Bishop McDevitt talent pool is whoever pays the tuition to go to Bishop McDevitt.
Well, I agree. I don't disagree with that. But the one thing that East Pennsboro does have is they have like a regular stream of students that are designated to go to that particular school.
You, in theory, know who's going to be on your roster for the next 4 years.
Absolutely right. Where a team, any.
Otis pass completed to Terrell James. James into the secondary, carrying would-be
tacklers.
Oh, my God. Nearly broke free to the end zone. Finally tripped up by Desmond Ward. So it's first down and 10 for the Panthers, and the ball spotted at about the 26-yard line at a time when the Panthers are up 30-0, and you'd expect a steady dose of runs. You've seen a couple of passes here from Coach Denniston, and that's the thing. You still have to practice some things because you're going to have another game next week.
That is a great point, Mike. The fact that they're going up against somebody that they are going to need to go to the bottom of the playbook to try and stay in that game.
Handoff to Jason Gossard. Gossard goes nowhere.
Let's just say, regardless of, they're going to have to score early and often against Bishop McDevitt because they're not going to be able to stop them. They can. What's that phrase? You can't hope to stop them. You only hope to contain them.
Yes.
And so, but what that means for East Pennsboro is not what they're doing now. Containing them means to possess the ball, means to run the football. They're not going to outscore them. So what they should be working on is grinding the football out, not throwing it, in my view.
Second down and 10 for the Panthers. Motion man is Trey Good. Otis, pass incomplete. Dropped on the near side. Jordan Lewis McKay looks to be the intended receiver. And it's going to bring up a third down and 10.
And you brought up the Northern game where, 3 possessions and grind it out and limit, So, if I'm East Pennsboro, I'm hoping for some kind of monsoon or bad weather because weather being a great equalizer, number one. And number two, run the football. I think that gives you an opportunity.
Now you have a turf field at McDevitt next week.
Yeah, well.
Otis in the gun. That pass is completed. Close to the line to gain. Brecken swope. And, but East Pennsboro has played on turf. It's not like it's an anomaly that they do so. There's more teams in the Mid-Penn Conference that have turf fields now than don't. So it's something that they're accustomed to. But as you mentioned, you get a driving rainstorm, maybe a freak snowstorm or some bitter cold. Makes the football a little harder to handle, and you hope for a break.
I was on that field reporting when Governor Mifflin beat Micah Parsons on that Harrisburg team that was favored to win a state championship in that monsoon of a Saturday afternoon at Severance Field. And I think the prerequisite for any kind of an upset of Bishop McDevitt is horrible weather conditions. There's a great touchdown.
Gossard, touchdown, 15 yards out. And with that touchdown, we will see a running clock following the kickoff as East Pennsboro has just put us into mercy rule territory on the touchdown from Gossard.
Yeah, just a textbook drive there by East Pennsboro. Really moved the ball down the field well and, running and passing.
Lineman alert, Logan Newman in to attempt the extra point. Dakota Campbell, the holder.
I like it.
Lineman trying to kick it up soccer style. The snap, the hold, the big guy does a thing, and he does it wide left. 8 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. When you're a big guy, you got to go Tom Dempsey.
Yeah.
You got to go toe. Because you're a big guy for a reason. You don't play soccer, you play football.
I like the big guys kicking the extra points like that. Look, he's the backup kicker for a reason, obviously. But still, it's great. This is a time to celebrate. How great must it be for John Denniston and that East Pennsboro sideline right now, going through all the adversity that they have, and John talked about that when we talked to him pregame, all the adversity, all the injuries. And to come out here and play arguably their best game of the year in front of your home fans, how great must he be feeling?
Well, he's got to feel good. You have everyone healthy. It's going to be East Pennsboro's first postseason victory since 2015.
That's great.
Dakota Campbell back on the field. He's going to be kicking off. And back deep for Kennardale, David Smith, Garrett McCleary. McCleary, a senior, playing in what will be his final varsity football game. 6'1", 161. Good chance he plays another sport for the Rams, so certainly not the end of his high school career.
How great it is for these East Pennsboro seniors walking off their field for the final time as a winner.
McCleary fields the kick near the 5, has a seam and works his way up to about the 35. And that's something I think back to the final varsity football game that I ever played some 27 years ago. And I was on the losing end that night, but I still remember that. And I know it's got to feel a little bit better to walk off the field with a victory, but regardless, you always remember those final moments of the last time you played on your home field.
Absolutely right. I mean, I was reminiscing a little bit last week over at broadcast the Cumberland Valley Altoona game, and was kind of reliving some of the memories that I had of, my senior final game as a senior, and my dad running out on the field thinking that I was hurt, and coming out of the stands. And
now, did it turn into like a hybrid Uncle Rico, Al Bundy story time?
No, it did not. I mean, thankfully my dad realized that it was number 25, not 85, before he actually ran out onto the field. But when the ambulance pulled up, my buddy Jeff Custer kind of blew out his knee. And
kind of blew out his
knee. Yeah, it was pretty rough, but he helped load him in the ambulance out on the field. So.
2nd down and 10. Sharp's first down pass was incomplete. Hit in the pocket, and the pass is intercepted. Plucked out of the air by Caden Holmes. And a turnover for the Rams. Defensive pressure for East Penn forces that pick, and the Panthers will have the ball back. And the clock stops, of course, in the mercy rule world. The clock only stops on a turnover, an injury, a timeout, or a score. And that was the turnover, but just as quickly, referee Dave Anderson whistles the clock to start. So 6:49 remaining in the ball game, 36-0. I would suspect Coach Dennison is going to make it rough for us here over the rest of the ball game, put some backups in.
Yeah, well, as he should. I mean, this is a time, especially if you've got some seniors playing their final game, get them out there for the last few minutes.
Logan Buzzard, the quarterback. Logan hands off to Terrell James, and James gains 12 or 13 yards. And the chains will move. A little pushing and shoving between Sam Gemmel and Amar Lombard. And referee Dave Anderson just looks at both of those young men like a parent would look at his kids. Knock it off.
Yeah, on the flip side there, Chris Grube and the Rams, a tough year against some really tough opponents. I mean, we talked a little bit in the opening about the fact that they played the likes of Wyomissing, Lampeter, Strasburg as some of their out-of-conference games. I mean, that's a killer. Plus their, conference schedule.
Buzzard hands off to Terrell James and a loss on the play. Yeah, when you open against against Wyomissing, a 49-0 loss, that's the kind of game that you're going to have your hands full. Wyomissing went to the state championship, I believe, last year.
Last 2 years.
District champions last year, defeating Boiling Springs in the championship game. Anytime I talk about Wyomissing, I have to talk about their 3 most famous alums. 3 of them. Well, one of them didn't graduate.
Okay.
John Goslin of John and Kate Plus 8 fame. Taylor Swift, she would be the one that did not graduate.
She didn't even go to high school there.
Yeah,
she lived in Wyomissing.
They claim her. And the one and only Ross Tucker of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, substitute host of the Dan Patrick Show.
Ross and I would consider Ross a friend. I mean, we kind of go back and forth. Actually,
I consider Ross a friend too. I don't know if the feeling's mutual, but I consider Ross a friend. It's a one-way relationship. Now, Ross is an awesome guy. I love working with him whenever I have an opportunity to.
Yeah, no, Ross is a great guy. Let's not forget like some real football players. I don't know why I'm missing.
Terrell James gives chase, picks it back up. And Terrell James gets back towards the line of scrimmage. Ross was actually in Houston last night doing color for Westwood 1, the Eagles and the Texans game.
Yeah, and of course he did he's got like the hashtag tuck spreads now.
Oh, I love tuck spreads. I was his cameraman for tuck spreads in Baltimore a couple of weeks ago. He has got this great thing going when he is at a stadium. I mean, he's a lineman. He's a big ugly. He will go to the press box food area and rate and review it. And what made the Baltimore tuck spreads even better was that the PR department of the Ravens left a gift basket of candy for Ross Tucker and Ryan Radke, the play-by-play guy, with a little sign and a welcome note, and Ross loved it. And Ryan Radke's like, wait, I want some of this candy, man.
Yeah, Ross is great. That and, the stuff that he does on the weekends of show me your beer and everything like that. I tell you what, it's a lot of fun. He does it in jest, but I'll tell you what.
I'm not confident that he drinks all that beer. I think it's like show beer.
Let's just say I'm very confident that he drinks all that.
You're very confident?
I'm very confident.
So you're saying he's functional?
On the advice of counsel, I decline to answer. Okay.
I took him a beverage. 3rd down and 3, by the way. 3 minutes, 6 seconds remaining. I've got some friends that come from Wisconsin to my day job, and they brought me a prize pack, if you will, only available in Wisconsin. And I gave him one of those daddy sodas at a game, and then he tweeted that thing out, and he put me over big. Like, Spotter brought me this. Hey, good. Yeah, that's right. I did.
Well,
I think he has. Well, I mean, we're talking high school sports, so we won't go too far down that rabbit hole. But he is a blessed man. Great family guy, involved in his kids' activities. He's
a ravenous high school football fan.
He's the kind of guy you want to be friends with.
Well, Ross talks all the time about the fact that the NFL is his job. And
Jason Gossard from a couple of yards out, touchdown East Pennsboro. And the Panthers continue to pour it on. 42-0 following the score. And big Logan Newman gets a chance for redemption here on this extra point. Little pat on the back from Dakota Campbell. Now, just do the toe ball thing, kid.
Let's see if he gets this one through.
Takes the steps like he's Jan Stenerud here. The kick is up, and it's good! Oh. And you'd think Logan Newman just won the Super Bowl. And one of his teammates fell down. If he's not careful, he's going to get an excessive celebration penalty on an extra point in a 43-0 ball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, he deserves it. As does really that. I think that just encapsulates, all the pent-up emotion from East Pennsboro football for this season. And, congratulations on just a fabulous win here tonight. And, we've been talking about it. The present is that, they're going to go out and play Bishop McDevitt. But you know what? They wouldn't have it any other way.
2 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the ball game. 43-0 the score. And the clock will start momentarily. And, again, it's stopped on the score. And, Bruce, thank you for inviting me to be part of the fun. A young girl has just dropped her Kindle over here. I hope she and the electronics are okay. She has an owie on her shin.
Wow. But that's a great cover for that computer. I mean, I think it bounced.
Well, when you have a child and you give the child electronics, you put it in as many levels of padding and bubble wrap and protection as you can.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a case. I don't know what it is, but it's huge and it's got a lot of padding.
They ought to. So do I. I'm huge and have a lot of padding as well. Although it hurts when I fall down, I don't understand.
I don't know. Kids seem to bounce more than us old guys.
Made of rubber, yes. They bend, I break. And the kickoff fielded by McCleary. McCleary in trouble, slips, slides, down at the 10. First down and 10 for Kennardale. Logan Buzzard on the special teams tackle.
So it's been a blast tonight, Mike. I hope we get a chance to work, more often. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to do some stuff with, Penn Live this year, and not that I didn't know the Mid-Penn Conference, but I've really obviously gotten in depth when you call 10 games in the conference.
That'll do it.
That will do it. And it, different sections. Did a game with Northern, did a Bishop McDevitt game.
First down and 10 for Kennardale. The pass tipped and incomplete, intended for Keller Green. Well, the Mid-Penn Colonial was tough, top to bottom.
Yeah.
My week to week is with the Mechanicsburg Wildcats, and Mechanicsburg finished the year 4-6. But based on their play, they could have easily been a 7-3 team. Staunch defense, just had some troubles offensively. But to see teams in the conference that are in the playoffs, like Cedar Cliff and Shippensburg and Northern and Susquehanna Township, half the conference made the postseason.
Yeah. No,
and East Pennsboro. 1:24 remaining, second down and 10. And the pass intended for Garrett McCleary is incomplete. The clock will continue to run. One more shout out to our friends at Wadlinger's Glass. If they make pint glasses, send one to Ross Tucker. Wadlinger's Glass in Enola, 717-412-8764. I don't think they make those types of glasses, but they do manage your residential windows and glass, window replacement and repair, small commercial jobs, screen replacement and repair as well. 717-412-8764 for Wadlinger's Glass. We thank them for helping make this possible.
And I want to thank Dan Etter, athletic director here at East Pennsboro, for helping put this game together. And as we wind it down, my friend.
Dan is my hero. Last year, he saved me from having to sit out in the rain, and I will say nice things about that guy until I breathe my last breath.
Well, anyway, listen, Mike, thank you so much. Looks like we're down to about the last 20 seconds here. I'm not entirely sure that they're going to snap the football, as looks like we're going to get both teams and line it up in the center.
So the final from John Gross Field at George R. Saxton. Take two. The final from John Gross Field at George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. East Pennsboro 43, Kennardale nothing. The Panthers win their first game since week 5. Now 5-6 on the season and advance in the playoffs to take on Bishop McDevitt next week at McDevitt. Kennardale's season wraps up 4-7 on the year. Congratulations to both teams for making it to the postseason. Good luck to East Pennsboro next week. And Bruce, whatever you got going on next week, hopefully it's a good one for you.
Yeah, well, I know that we're going to be doing a game on Penn Live. Not entirely sure yet what Chris Hopkins is going to decide on what game we're going to do, but I know that we've got 3 postseason games on Penn Live we're going to be rolling through, and I can't wait for those. And probably be doing some stuff on NFHS Network, after that in the PIAA tournament.
Well, thank you, sir, and have a good night. And who